Tonight's episode of MAFS, we saw one of the most problematic episodes in MAFS history, and I personally am extremely upset. But before we get into it, if you love my reviews, hit that follow button and let's do this every night together. If I can continue doing this, I really don't know. I feel like I'm at the end of my tether. The episode began with a very disturbing montage of the rest of the participants condemning Paul's behaviour, but detailing his remorse. I don't know why they felt this necessary to include. I feel like they were trying to demonstrate the group's support of their decision to, spoiler alert, let Paul stay in the experiment, but this is irrelevant and I don't think it needed to be shown. This was some strategic foreshadowing from the creators of the show. They were doing this to manipulate and condition the audience into accepting their decision to keep Paul on this program, and I totally see through it. And I'm pretty disgusted by their decision to include this, and I feel that they're trying to manipulate the audience and don't think that we're smart enough to pick up on their tactics. That was followed by a clip of Adrian here, aka Scum of the Earth, saying he wasn't going to touch Family and Friends Week because, you know, that's private. That's between family and friends, and I'm going to protect that. What do you mean it should be kept private, Adrian? It was filmed and broadcast on national television. You just don't want to be held accountable by the experts. Should we call them that anymore? No, I don't think so. Athena then said that she will be addressing what happened at Family and Friends Week because she needs the experts' help. And that's really sad, isn't it? We then saw Paul enter the commitment ceremony with his tail between his pathetic little legs. Everyone proceeded to enter, and the experts were like, "Where's Morena? Where is she? Is she coming?" They invited Tony to the couch to discuss her absence. Tony gets up on the couch. He's like, "You know, I've just been trying so hard this whole experiment." And midway through his conversation, Morena burst through the doors. She's looking hot as shit. And she's like, "Did you think I was going to let Tony have the last word? Did you think I wasn't going to come?" She looked like a total boss. She said, "Tony doesn't like my personality. You know what? Tony doesn't even know my personality. He put a lid on me in such a small amount of time, but you're not going to tell me not to talk. You're not going to tell me not to dance. You've mocked me this entire experiment. You've wasted everyone's time. And you know what you said? You said, 'Oh, I want a baby.' Poof. When did you have that light bulb moment, Tony? You don't have a problem with my personality. You have a problem with my age. Clearly, I can't reproduce. So how do you think that makes a woman feel?" The experts were like, "Tony, you want a baby?" Tony goes, "Oh, I thought I mentioned this at some point." They said, "No, first we've heard of it." Morena said that on their wedding day, they were beaming. It was penetration. The whole group burst into tears. They couldn't control their laughter. But basically she was saying that everything was so great. There was so much chemistry. And then she told Tony her age and it was just complete shutdown. Morena said, "You'll see it when you watch our wedding day. It was something real. It was this, it was this, it was this. And then you were holding my hand. And when I told you my age, you dropped it and you turned green and your demeanor changed and it's never been the same. You're a 53-year-old man, behave like one." Tony wrote leave. Morena wrote good riddance. Tony went back to the couch and Morena stormed out the door. She was not waiting around to watch the other couples. She was out of there. Good on you, Morena. Power to you. Jamie, Dave and the girls were up next. Jamie and Dave are really happy. Things are going really well. They said that after Family and Friends Week, they feel so much closer. Jamie said that she's just obsessed with him. And Dave said that he's starting to think about the future with Jamie in it, which is so cute. But as Jamie and Dave were sharing their experience, the camera kept cutting to Scum of the Earth. This was one of the most sinister things I've ever seen on reality TV. Scum here was whispering into Athena's ear, "Don't talk about what happened with Family and Friends Week, Athena? Don't tell them what happened. Athena was like, don't tell me what to say. He said, I want us to work as a team. I don't want us to talk about what happened. I don't know why we have to bring it up. So essentially what was happening here is scum of the earth is trying to silence Athena, which constitutes coercive control. Let's pull up a quick definition. Silencing a partner, telling them what they can or cannot say, is a form of coercive control, which is a pattern of behaviors used to dominate, manipulate, and instill fear in a partner. It is considered emotional and psychological abuse because it restricts autonomy, suppresses free expression, and enforces power imbalances in a relationship. How silencing constitutes coercive control and abuse. Number 1, control over expression and autonomy. A healthy relationship allows both partners to express their thoughts, feelings, and emotions freely. If one partner dictates what the other can or cannot say, they erode their partner's autonomy, treating them as an extension of their own will rather than an independent person. 2, fear and psychological manipulation. If a person is afraid to speak because their partner might be angry, punish them, or withdraw affection, this creates an environment of fear and compliance rather than mutual respect. Over time, this conditions the victim to self-censor, leading to internalized oppression. They begin doubting their own thoughts and instincts. We'll touch on this later. Number 3, isolation and silencing as a control tactic. Abusive partners often forbid their partner from discussing issues with others, making them feel alone and dependent on the abuser for approval and validation. This isolation weakens the victim's ability to seek help, reinforcing the abuser's control. Number 4, gaslighting and emotional manipulation. If an abuser dismisses, ridicules, or punishes their partner for speaking up, they create self-doubt and make the victim feel like they are wrong for having their own thoughts. Gaslighting often follows, "You're overreacting," "That's not what happened," or "You don't know what you're talking about." This erodes confidence and self-worth, making the victim more submissive. Number 5, legal recognition of coercive control. Laws against coercive control in places like New South Wales as of 2022 explicitly recognise restricting a partner's freedom, including speech, as abuse. The New South Wales Crimes Legislation Amendment Coercive Control Act in 2022 defines coercive control as a pattern of behaviour that intimidates, dominates, and isolates a partner, which includes restricting communication and self-expression. The bottom line, telling a partner what they can or cannot say strips them of their agency, forces them into silence, and gradually removes their ability to think and act independently. This is a hallmark of coercive control and emotional abuse, which can have devastating long-term effects on a victim's mental health, self-esteem, and sense of self. As a victim of domestic violence, this resonated with me so much. I've run out of time. Please go to part 2.